All right, hello everyone. This is Module 3 and I'm Matthew Kursick. Let's get started. So, the name of my project was Engineering and Makerspace Experiences for Teachers. That video, as soon as I watched it, I was hooked. I actually had to rewatch it a couple of times because I was fascinated with what they were doing. So the facilitators for the project was Jennifer Uckland and Brian Fabian. Their contact information is listed there. And they were the engineering scholars that helped the teachers that signed up for the 6-week project. Here was my summary for the project. Like I was saying, a group of teachers were given the opportunity to spend 6 weeks just learning more about engineering through an engineer's perspective. They were given a large amount of time to create with a common goal in mind. The teachers in the video even stated they were fascinated and surprised with how much time. They were given 2 full weeks to create a car that propels itself from gravity. I would have loved 2 weeks to just really worked on this project. The teachers were guided and educated how to use the tools from the facilitators so they could have that engineering experience going forward to create their car, so to speak. To begin for the project alignment with the STEM practices, I broke it down by each practice. For asking the questions, they really had to ask the right questions and define the problems to get the cart to be propelled from gravity, and I'm sure that wasn't an easy task at first. Developing and using models, I would assume that they would have had to draw out their concepts before creating anything and make the physical models to go off of their drawings so they can make those prototypes to make sure that they can be successful on their goal. Planning and carrying out investigations, they would have to plan out different investigations to see what was best to invent their car. So they had to plan out several plans, I'm sure. The video didn't get into that much detail, but from what I was seeing, they had to do multiple investigations to get a final product. Analyzing, interpreting data. Teachers and the facilitators would have been interpreting the data through the multiple experiments to see what works best and what doesn't work at all. Using mathematics and constructing explanations. The teachers were introduced to computer-aided design and other kinds of software by the teachers, so they had to use computational thinking to assist them in creating their project. And they also had to design their own solutions with their self-propelled cars. And since they had to design their own cars, they would have had to provide explanations to their instructors of how it worked. Engaging in arguments from evidence. The project encouraged the teachers to discuss different points of view with other educators during the 2-week span from the trials. And finally, communicating information. To echo my previous words, the teachers were able to communicate, from what I saw, what information was most important to achieve the common goal. I could see that they were communicating very well within their groups, so when they were building their self-propelled cart, that it would work. For science inquiry, I took the continuum that we used for the last module, and I estimated what the project would fall into for each level, and I thought it was very significantly teacher, in this case teacher self-directed, and the facilitators did guide them in some manner. For example, the professors did help them and needed to guide the teachers in the program about how to use the CAD, the 3D printing, and the different kinds of programming software. But the thing is that it's very learner self-directed in this case because the teachers were given that large amount of time to create as well. And so it was really on them to create their self-propelled carts. And the teachers also had to create their own solutions and explain how they would work, how the carts would work to the other professors. So it did have a significant amount of inquiry. And as you can see, it's really sliding toward the learner self-directed side. But for some of the advanced programs such as CAD or the 3D printing, it needed a teacher to guide them through the different kinds of programs first. Why I chose this project, as soon as I watched the video, like I said earlier, I wish I could have been a part of it. It was so fascinating to me, and I'm going to be really looking on the eastern side of the United States for programs that I could spend maybe time and just to make and just to create, just like these teachers in Washington did. Remind me of the famed Brett's quote, "The reality is that beginning science teachers who have not experienced inquiry as learners may find it difficult to implement such a curriculum in their own classrooms." I thought that quote really stuck in my head as I was watching this video because the teachers had that time to really experience inquiry as learners, to work with it with themselves. And even the teacher said going forward is that they'll be better equipped when teaching inquiry to their students. Teachers must have the experience of inquiry through the learner's perspective before teaching it. And it was just really the makerspaces are so unique because they give that firsthand experience. How this project informs my teaching and learning? It informs me in the following ways. Makerspaces and time are so valuable for learners to take lessons to heart. Teachers must have that first-hand experience for inquiry, just like I said from that famed Brett's quote. And good inquiry can be a mixture of teacher-guided and student-directed. And I learned it's about balancing it. That lesson really came out to me is that I always think, oh, like if you need good inquiry, you need to have just the students learning it all on themselves. Well, in this case, the teachers can help to a bit, but also giving that time toward the students. And for the future, I hope to involve more makerspaces with my students in the future to see what they can create and what kind of thinking I can procure out of them. So thanks and have a great day.